Gold miner sentenced to 3 months for drug trafficking. Ashman Scott, a 51-year-old gold miner from Supply Village, East Bank Demerara, was arrested earlier this week at the Idabali checkpoint in Region No. 7 and charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. On Wednesday, Scott appeared before Magistrate Tariq Mohammed in the Bartica Magistrates Court, where he pleaded not guilty to the charges. However, after a trial, he was found guilty of the offense. As a result, Scott was sentenced to 3 months in prison. The case highlights ongoing efforts by law enforcement to combat drug trafficking in the region. Bartica man fined for driving under the influence. Bartica, Dietnarine Prahlad, a 60-year-old resident of 3rd Avenue Bartica, appeared in the Bartica Magistrate Court on Wednesday before Magistrate Tariq Mohammed. He was charged with driving a motor vehicle while his breath alcohol level exceeded the legal limit. Prahlad pleaded guilty to the charge and was fined $200,000. Alternatively, he faced a sentence of 3 months in prison if he failed to pay the fine. This case underscores the ongoing efforts to enforce road safety and combat driving under the influence in the region. Plumber arrested and charged with sexual assault. Victoria Village, East Coast Demerara Osefo Collins, known as Black Boy, a 29-year-old plumber from Victoria Village, was arrested by a rank from the Cove and John Police Station and charged with sexual assault on July 16, 2025. The charge was laid under Section 4(1) of the Sexual Offences Act, Chapter 803. Collins appeared before Magistrate Orinthia Schmidt at the Cove and John Magistrate Court, where the charge was read to him. He pleaded not guilty and was granted bail set at $50,000. The court has adjourned the matter to July 30, 2025, for the submission of statements. Construction worker sentenced for sexual activity with minor. John Chappelle, a 38-year-old construction worker from 13th Street Foolis, was arrested on July 13, 2025, by a rank from the Cove and John Police Station. He was charged on July 16, 2025, with the offense of sexual activity with a child family member in violation of Section 16(3)(b)(I) of the Sexual Offences Act, Chapter 803. Chappelle appeared before Magistrate Orinthia Schmidt at the Cove and John Magistrates Court, where he pleaded guilty to the charge. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison and fined $1 million. This case highlights the legal system's commitment to addressing and penalizing sexual offenses. Man arrested after police find ammunition in vehicle. In the late hours of July 16, 2025, detectives on mobile patrol intercepted a white Toyota Axio, registration #PAC4181, on Aubrey Barker Road, between Penny Lane and the Festival City entrance. The vehicle was being driven by 22-year-old Samuel Cole from Kitty, Georgetown, who was the sole occupant. During the stop, police conducted a search of Cole's person but found no unlawful items. However, a further search of the vehicle revealed 6 live 9mm rounds of ammunition and 2 spent .32 shells hidden under the front passenger seat in a multicolored plastic bag. When questioned about a firearm license, Cole admitted that he did not possess one. He was informed of the offense, cautioned, and subsequently arrested. Cole was taken to the East Law Penitence Police Station, where he was placed in custody. The vehicle was also impounded, and a search of Cole's residence was conducted, but no additional evidence was found. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. Bradley Sampson turns himself in after assault allegations. Georgetown, Bradley Sampson, also known as Dirty Doggy, surrendered to the police on Thursday afternoon, following the issuance of a wanted bulletin for his arrest. Sampson is accused of assaulting a woman in public while armed. Accompanied by his lawyer, Sampson voluntarily presented himself at the Brickdam police station, where he was promptly arrested. The police had previously announced that he was wanted for multiple offenses, including possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition, as well as threatening behavior. According to police reports, the victim, a sales representative from McDoom, East Bank Demerara, alleged that Sampson had hired her to perform tasks for the We Invest in Nationhood (WIN) party on Nominations Day, promising her a payment of $50,000. However, when she arrived at the Square of the Revolution on July 15 to collect her payment, she was given only $10,000. An argument ensued, during which Sampson reportedly assaulted her, kicking and punching her, and striking her in the head with a firearm. Disturbingly, parts of the incident were captured on video and circulated widely on social media. In a controversial twist, it was reported that Azruddin Mohammed, the leader of the Win Party and currently under U.S. sanctions, allegedly offered the woman $500,000 to drop the charges against Sampson. This led to Mohammed being sought by the police, and he later turned himself in on Thursday, facing accusations of attempting to obstruct justice. He has since been released. The unfolding events have raised significant concerns regarding the conduct of both Sampson and Mohammed, prompting police investigations into their actions. Fisherman charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm. Trevor Akia, a 42-year-old fisherman from Phase 1, Good Hope, East Coast Demerara, was arrested and charged on July 14, 2025, for inflicting grievous bodily harm, in violation of Section 50 of the Criminal Law, Offences, Act, Chapter 801. Akia appeared before Magistrate Sunil Scarce at the Vigilance Magistrates Court on July 17, 2025. During the proceedings, the charge was read to him, and an application for bail was submitted but ultimately denied. As a result, Akia was remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to August 15, 2025, for further proceedings. Wanted suspect found dead. Kendall Joseph, also known as James, a 26-year-old Amerindian man wanted for the brutal double murder of two farmers, was discovered dead on Thursday morning in Cato Village. Authorities suspect that Joseph took his own life. According to reports, Joseph's mother, Diana Peters, 44, left their home for breakfast with family members at around 7 a.m. Upon returning at approximately 8:50 a.m., Joseph's sister, Lornia Joseph, 28, went to the back of the house and found him hanging and unresponsive. She raised the alarm, and the incident was promptly reported to the Cato police station. Joseph's body was taken to the Cato Cottage Hospital, where a medical examiner confirmed his death. Joseph had been on the run since July 11, 2025, after allegedly stabbing Clifton Thomas, 34, and Sylvester Thomas, 20, both Amerindian farmers from Maikapra settlement in Tusning village. Police investigations indicated that the three men had been drinking together when an argument escalated into violence. During the confrontation, Joseph reportedly armed himself with a knife and fatally attacked both victims before fleeing the scene. Earlier this week, police had issued a wanted bulletin for Joseph. The investigation into the double murder and the circumstances surrounding his death remains ongoing. Virasamy Ramaya announces departure from Win Party. In a Facebook video last evening, Virasamy Ramaya announced his resignation from the We Invest in Nationhood, Win Party, led by Azruddin Mohammed. He made it clear that he would not apologize for his decision, stating, "I have stepped down from Win and I just want to stay where I am right now." Ramaya, who has been a key mobilizer for Mohammed in the East Berbice Quarantine region, expressed feelings of being insulted and disrespected by the party. He emphasized, "I don't want to be insulted by others, especially people with no character." He also revealed that he was not informed or invited to the opening of the party's office at Wim, Berbice, and was excluded from the party's nomination day activities. Ramaya stressed that respect should be shown, regardless of his desire for fame. Having previously been a member of the Alliance for Change, AFC, and later supporting the People's Progressive Party, PPP, Ramaya has a history of resigning from political positions. He noted that internal dynamics within the party led to false accusations against him, and he felt he was perceived as a hindrance to others' ambitions. This departure raises questions about the internal dynamics within the Win Party, especially in light of the controversies surrounding its leader, who is currently under U.S. sanctions. Ramaya's decision highlights ongoing challenges in political alignments and personal integrity within the current political landscape. Former GTU President Colwyn King sentenced to 19 years for rape. Colwyn King, the former president of the Guyana Teachers Union (GTU, has been sentenced to 19 years in prison for the rape of a female child under 16. A jury found him guilty last month on 2 counts of rape that occurred in April 2021, with incidents taking place at night and again in the afternoon when no one else was present. Following the verdict, King, who had been on $350,000 bail pending trial, was immediately remanded to prison by Justice Simone Morris. The prosecution was led by State Counsels Muntaz Ali and Geneva Wills, while King was represented by attorney-at-law Tanza Sarabo. King has a history of legal troubles. In 2009, he faced a similar rape charge but was acquitted by a jury in 2016. He was accused of raping a child at a hotel on Princes Street, Georgetown, and was ordered to stand trial in the High Court in 2011 after being released on $100,000 bail. Following the recent allegations, King resigned from his positions as president of the GTU and administrator of the Guyana Industrial Training Center. The community continues to grapple with the implications of this case, highlighting ongoing concerns about child safety and justice in such matters. Azruddin Mohammed accuses state of political prosecution. News source reports, presidential candidate for the We Invest in Nationhood party, WIN, Azruddin Mohammed, is alleging political prosecution following accusations of attempting to obstruct justice in a case involving one of his party's activists, Bradley Sampson, also known as Doggy. He was detained for several hours at the Ruimveldt police station. This is a clear case of political prosecution, Mohammed stated to reporters after his release, accompanied by his attorneys, Syed Durjan and Damien De Silva. I hope the Carter Center and all observers are taking note of what is happening. Mohammed turned himself in around 9:30 a.m. after police demanded to speak with him at his party's campaign headquarters in Providence the previous night, although he was not present at the time. According to a statement from the Guyana police force, a woman who reportedly suffered an assault by Sampson claimed she was detained against her will by armed security guards at the campaign office. The police allege that she was instructed by Mohammed not to pursue the matter against Sampson and was offered $500,000 to settle the situation. Mohammed has vehemently denied all allegations, stating he merely reached out to the woman to apologize on behalf of himself and his party, emphasizing his opposition to violence against women. No. Of course not, he responded when questioned about the allegations. One of his attorneys, Damien De Silva, noted that settlements are not illegal and that outreach to resolve matters before legal action is not uncommon. Even if the allegations were true, settlements are quite normal, he said. Syed Durjan echoed De Silva's sentiments, asserting that the allegations do not constitute a known offense. The allegation is simply that he allegedly offered money to settle a grievance. There is nothing nefarious about that, he stated. Durjan also highlighted the police's failure to make contact with the alleged complainant during their investigation, indicating her unwillingness to confront Mohammed. They called her phone for 3 hours with no answer, he reported. He further expressed concern over the government's approach, claiming it is excessively fearful of Mohammed. We have never seen a government so terrified of one man, he said, referencing various serious allegations that have been made against others without similar scrutiny. Mohammed was released from police custody shortly before 1 p.m. without any charges or bail required. He has committed to cooperating with police should the need arise. Vice President Jagdeo responds to Azruddin Mohammed's claims of persecution. Moments after presidential candidate Azruddin Mohammed of the We Invest in Nationhood party was released from police custody over allegations of obstructing justice, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo dismissed claims of targeting and persecution made by Mohammed. At a press conference today, Jagdeo defended the police's actions in sending officers with high-powered weapons to the WIN campaign headquarters late last night in search of the presidential candidate. He emphasized that the police's duty is to investigate criminal acts and that they had a right to follow up on the report they received. The police are obligated by law, Jagdeo stated, arguing that questioning Mohammed was necessary in light of the allegations. Are they saying that because he is Mohammed, the police can't question him? They are looking for sympathy again. He really thinks that because he is a presidential candidate, he should not be held accountable for covering up the brutal beating of this woman, he added. Jagdeo maintained that Mohammed does not pose a threat to the PPP in the upcoming elections, asserting that if the police had not acted, it would have appeared that the law was being applied unequally. If they didn't go, everyone would say he is being treated differently. This is a criminal act, and he is directly linked to it, he said. Describing the woman's account as horrifying, Jagdeo suggested that the party's distancing from its activist was merely a facade. The girl who was brutally beaten gave a statement to the police saying that he took Doggy and the girl to his home after the incident and kept her there against her will, threatening her when she tried to leave, he noted. Mohammed has denied all allegations and was released from police custody without any charges or bail being required. Second auction for offshore oil blocks in Guyana planned for 2026. Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo has announced that a second auction for offshore oil blocks in Guyana could take place in 2026. However, the government aims to complete seismic surveys offshore before proceeding with the auction. Jagdeo indicated that there is interest from several companies in conducting these seismic surveys, and the government may allow multiple firms to participate. Now, if we can complete the seismic surveys, we expect that you will have some really serious bids for the new auction, he stated. These seismic surveys are crucial for identifying potential hydrocarbon reservoirs, providing authorities with a clearer understanding of existing oil reserves offshore. Currently, Guyana's proven oil reserves are estimated at 11 billion barrels. Guyana held its first oil block auction in 2022, which resulted in 6 firms being awarded 8 different blocks in 2023. A total of 14 blocks, 11 shallow and 3 deepwater, were available. Ongoing negotiations are expected to continue until after the country's elections scheduled for September 1, 2025. The government has already finalized a new model petroleum agreement and updated legislation for the petroleum sector, which are prerequisites for awarding blocks in both the first and upcoming auctions. Avinash Naidu charged and remanded in fatal hit-and-run incident. Avinash Naidu of Line Path, Quarantine, Burbus, has been charged with 7 offenses related to a fatal hit-and-run accident in March that resulted in the deaths of 19-year-old Kavita Betsan and her 9-month-old baby, Eli Sernjnarine. Naidu, who had been in hiding since the incident, was arrested yesterday and appeared before Magistrate Anna Hardy at the Springlands Magistrate Court. He faces 2 charges for causing death by dangerous driving, as well as 3 charges for failing to render assistance to injured persons and failing to take them to a registered medical practitioner for treatment. Additionally, he is charged with failing to report the accident to police within 24 hours and failing to stop after the accident. While Naidu was not required to plead to the 2 charges of causing death by dangerous driving, he pleaded not guilty to the other 5 charges. Police prosecutor Constable Whitney Yearwood informed the court that on March 2, Naidu was driving motorcar HC 8905 at a high speed along the Line Path public road when he collided with an electric bike ridden by Tushan Sernjnarine, with Betsan and her baby as pillion riders. Both vehicles were traveling in the same direction at the time of the accident. Following the collision, Naidu did not stop to assist the victims. Police attempted to locate him at his home but were unsuccessful. On July 15, law enforcement officials arrested Naidu, who was found hiding in a chair at a residence in Line Path. When approached, he initially denied his identity but was subsequently taken into custody. Naidu has been remanded to prison and is scheduled to return to court on July 31. Police investigate fatal accident on Covent Garden Public Road. Police are currently investigating a fatal accident that occurred on the eastern carriageway of Covent Garden Public Road, East Bank Demerara. The incident involved a motor lorry, number GG 2043, driven by 23-year-old Richard Kevin Ghani of Alliance Road, Timeri, and a motorcycle, number CL 9379, owned and operated by 55-year-old Gerald De Silva of Lot 10, Covent Garden. Preliminary inquiries revealed that the lorry was traveling south along the eastern lane of the road, while the motorcycle was also proceeding south along the western lane, a short distance ahead of the lorry. According to the lorry driver, as the motorcyclist approached a parked motor canter on the side of the road, he swerved eastward to avoid it. The lorry driver reported that he applied the brakes to prevent a collision. However, due to the short braking distance, the right front side of the lorry collided with the motorcycle. The impact caused the motorcyclist and his motorcycle to fall onto the road surface, and the right side front and rear wheels of the lorry rolled over the motorcyclist, resulting in severe crushing injuries to his head and other parts of his body. The motionless body of the motorcyclist was transported by police to Diamond Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival by a doctor on duty. The body has since been taken to Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, pending a post-mortem examination. The investigation is ongoing. Police recover unlicensed firearm in Parfait Harmony. At approximately 5:30 p.m. today, police acted on a report made by a 52-year-old female social worker from Westminster, Parfait Harmony, West Bank Demerara. Officers from the Parfait Harmony police station visited the social worker's home, where they conducted a search and recovered an unlicensed firearm. During the search, a .32 revolver was found wrapped in a black plastic bag and concealed within a rice bag. Initial investigations revealed that around 7:30 p.m. yesterday, Wednesday, the social worker was at home when her aunt brought the rice bag, which was already opened and contained half a bag of rice. The woman stated that she placed the bag in her kitchen to use the rice for cooking dog food. Today, at approximately 5:25 p.m., she reached for the bag, took out some rice, and discovered the firearm concealed inside. The police were summoned and took possession of the weapon. The firearm has been taken to the Parfait Harmony police station, where it has been marked, sealed, and lodged with the station sergeant. The aunt has been contacted and is currently being questioned by police as investigations continue. Raul Tony responds to legal threats over article. In a social media post, journalist Raul Tony wrote, "Today, I received a lawyer's letter from attorney-at-law Dexter Todd of Dexter Todd and Associates, demanding that I cease and desist from publishing any articles related to sexual assault allegations against their client, a Guyanese cricketer on the West Indies team." Mr. Todd referred to my column, Monster in Maroon, published on June 26, 2025, stating that it has no legal or factual basis. However, he acknowledged that there has been only one official allegation made to the Guyana police force against the player, which was investigated but did not result in charges. The letter alleges defamation, seeks to suppress further publication, and threatens legal action if I do not comply with their demands to stop reporting on these allegations. Let me be clear, I will not be muzzled. I stand by every word written in my publications. Mr. Todd's claim that my article defamed the cricketer is misplaced. I did not name or imply any individual in my writing. As a career sports journalist for nearly 21 years, I have upheld the highest standards of integrity, objectivity, and responsibility. This is the first time I have received a lawyer's letter, much less one threatening legal action for defamation. Any connection drawn between my content and the cricketer is purely the result of readers' interpretations, which I cannot control. I publish in good faith within the bounds of the law. I have consistently adhered to journalistic standards when reporting on allegations of sexual assault and misconduct. My article did not contain speculative claims or insinuate guilt toward anyone. I do not sympathize with any emotional or reputational strain the cricketer may be experiencing, and I reject the assertion that any damage was caused by my article. I did not name or describe him in any way. I will not be silenced or intimidated. I will continue to report facts and tell stories that matter, without fear, favor, or the threat of prosecution. Woman shares heart-wrenching story of abandonment and struggle. In a poignant Facebook post, Marissa L. Charlie, a 33-year-old woman from Letham, opened up about her challenging life and the absence of her biological father, Hugh Winter, a police officer. Born on December 21, 1991, Marissa shared that she grew up not knowing her father. According to her, Winter was stationed at the Letham police station in 1990 when he met her mother, left her pregnant, and subsequently abandoned them. Marissa recounted how, just 2 weeks after her birth, her mother had to leave for medical training, leaving her in the care of her grandparents. Marissa described her upbringing as difficult, revealing that she faced sexual abuse as a child, which profoundly impacted her ability to form relationships with men. Now identifying as a lesbian, she has faced discrimination and mockery about her sexuality in her hometown. "I struggled to love a man and I've been mocked many times," she wrote. Reflecting on her father's absence, Marissa expressed her deep hurt, stating, "I grew up knowing in my heart he is not a good man at all. Is it okay just to make someone and neglect them like that? She articulated her longing for a father's protection, which she felt could have changed the course of her life. In a surprising twist, Marissa detailed an encounter at 18 when she recognized Winter while he was on duty. Despite being introduced to him, their meeting was brief and unsatisfactory. "I didn't even get a handshake," she recalled, noting that he never reached out to her afterward. Now, Marissa is determined to confront her father, preparing to file a $100 million lawsuit against him. She expressed her desire for a DNA test and her frustration at his neglect. "How can a man live his life knowing he has his sperm somewhere and never look back?" she asked. Marissa's story is not only a personal narrative but also a call to action for others who may have faced similar struggles. She urged the community of Lethem to support her as she seeks justice and closure. "I want Mr. Winter to know I am a fighter. I don't give up until I win," she affirmed. In closing, Marissa thanked those who have supported her journey and called for her story to be shared widely in hopes of reaching her father. Her message resonates with many who have faced abandonment and hardship, underscoring the importance of family, connection, and the fight for recognition.